If I ever need a ghostwriter, I need to just fucking put the mic down.
And I got no faith in your writers, I don't believe in ghosts. You got a couple of ghostwriters, but to these kids it don't actually matter.
In hip-hop, the idea that someone else is behind the bars can feel like betrayal. In this video, we're tracing Ghostwriters from rap's first ever viral hit to the ghost-written rhymes of Dr. Dre and Drake, unpacking how a hidden practice became one of the culture's loudest controversies, and why for a new generation of listeners, it might not even matter.
I'm making sure you don't try to battle me no more.
I wake you up and as I stare in your face, you seem stunned, remember me.
Throughout hip-hop history, rappers have feared ghostwriting allegations like teens have feared pregnancy. Practically every rapper you can name has had a ghostwriting allegation flung at them. Even rappers accusing others of ghostwriting have ghostwriting allegations themselves.
Red rose, white ceiling.
Ghostwriting can be seen as hip-hop's original sin. If we're all born sinners, then it's not surprising that the culture was too. With rap's first major commercial hit, the rappers Delight from the Sugar Hill Gang, being built on the uncredited bars of Grandmaster Caz.
It was crazy, man, because people was running up to me in the street. Yo, we heard your record on the radio. You made a record. I'm like, I ain't make no record. What you talking about? I'll be like, nah, that's not me. That's Hank. Like, Hank? Ain't don't rhyme. I know.
If ghostwriting has plagued hip-hop since its inception, then why are we talking about it today? To understand ghostwriting, we first have to ask what exactly is ghostwriting. In rap, a ghostwriter is a person who is hired to write lyrics that are credited to another person as the author. Now if you go to Spotify, search up any one of your favorite Eminem songs, right-click the song, click on View Credits, and you'll see under Written By that Eminem is never the sole writer of any of his music. Now does that mean that Eminem has had writing help his entire career and lied when he said,
Anybody out here that does use ghostwriters, that's fine. If that's what you do, that's fine. But I'm telling you, I don't do it.
fuck no. You can see this with almost every song that's ever been published, because people gain writer credits for their contribution to the production, sampling law, and interpolation. In Eminem's Without Me, for example, Ann Dudley, Malcolm McLaren, and Trevor Horn are credited as writers because the song contains the sample from the song Buffalo Gals by Malcolm McLaren.
Buffalo gal go around the outside, round the outside, round the outside.
Two trailer park girls go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside.
There's a fine line between writers and ghostwriters. If a writer is not credited, it makes them a ghostwriter. Take the D.O.C. for example.
Nothing but a G thing?
Me and the dog.
Oh man.
Yeah. That was one of the first records that Snoop and I worked together on. Me imparting, if you will, to him the formula, for lack of a better way.
And this time you were in the video.
Yeah.
Putting the shit together like my nigga D.O.C. No one can do it better like this.
I was gonna make that video. Put my name right there. Dre hates that. Now why you always got your name in the record?
Better.
You know what I mean? Come on, man. I gotta get in.
The D.O.C. played a major part in the writing process of Dr. Dre's The Chronic, but is never credited as a writer, making the D.O.C. one of the first major ghostwriters in rap history.
Hey yo, doctor, here's another proper track. Rearrange the whole game with my rugged.
Just like how hitmen don't attend their victims' funerals, an artist doesn't need to appear on the track to be responsible for every word on it. Take Dr. Dre's Still D.R.E. for example, one of Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg's greatest hits that they've ever released that was completely written by Jay-Z.
But we can do something better and different.
Again, he was right about it.
It's the D.R.E.
I think it was Steve Style that got Jay-Z involved.
And we gave Steve a bunch of tracks.
And one of them just happened to be Still D.R.E. and Jay-Z wrote those lyrics. I think they came back in maybe 24 hours with the whole song written.
However, Jay-Z was credited accordingly, so it's not considered ghostwriting.
It was Still Dre and it was Jay-Z and he wrote the whole fucking song. 30 minutes later, that nigga shit is done. He wrote Dre shit and my shit. And it was flawless. And me and D.O.C. was like, looks like this nigga outstruck us on this one. So we're gonna take the back seat and I'm gonna accept it.
Writing credits can be extremely unclear and confusing. Credits alone are not enough to determine what exactly the artist has contributed to the song.
Eminem is dope. The motherfucker wrote things just ain't the same for gangsters.
Times is changing, young niggas is aging, becoming OGs in the game and changing.
Things just ain't the same for psychos, guns and rifles, sharp knives, I like those. I might just OD by the end of tonight's show.
I promise you that motherfucker wrote that shit like he was inside of Dre's body in his head.
On The Watcher, Eminem is only heard in the chorus and is credited accordingly. However, what often goes unmentioned is that he wrote all of Dre's verses on there, including all of his verses on Forgot About Dre.
That was Eminem's idea. He wrote the song for me and Snoop originally. He laid the reference vocals for Snoop, and I liked the way it sounded. So we just kept it that way, and I laid my vocals, and that was it.
Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say.
Okay, so if everyone knows Dr. Dre doesn't write his lyrics, why isn't his legacy tainted?
I didn't want it to appear on the album at all, to be honest. I just wanted to produce, find artists, and produce them. And Doc, the D.O.C, talked me into getting on the mic and doing this thing.
You see, Dr. Dre never claimed to be a top-tier lyricist, but focused primarily on making the best music possible. Dre is known for being a producer, a visionary, and a mastermind of hip-hop.
The girl of your dreams to me is probably not a challenge.
But then you have artists like Drake, who built his image, especially on earlier projects, of being a top-tier lyricist and that he deserves to be in the conversation for the GOAT of rap. Thus, ghostwriting allegations harm the audience's trust and break the image of authenticity. Drake's reputation was absolutely tarnished when Meek Mill tweeted, "Stop comparing Drake to me. He don't write his own raps. That's why he ain't tweet my album, because we found out," driving the internet into a meltdown.
The girl of your dreams to me is probably not a challenge. I've been counting it out so many times I couldn't count it.
This led the internet to investigate Drake and his associates, eventually coming to light that Quentin Miller is the main ghostwriter behind Drake's If You're Reading This It's Too Late for a handful of tracks.
Quentin Miller, right? He helped you with some songs, and I feel like you're still battling these ghostwriting rumors and this type of thing. How do you view it now when you look at it?
No, I really have, I've really made my peace. I have no embarrassment when it comes to what I did on that. I worked with somebody. It wasn't like I needed somebody to facilitate, entire ideas. We worked together. If I need to be the poster child that took all those hits for all my peers hiding behind me that do the same thing every fucking album, that's fine, I'll do it. There's a lot of people that link up with other people and make records that you guys love. That's kind of how music is a collaborative thing.
What Drake says here does have a lot of truth behind it. Biggie ghost wrote for Lil Kim, Cool G Rap ghost wrote for Salt and Peppa, Sauce Money wrote for Diddy, Royce the 5'9" ghost wrote one of Dr. Dre's most personal songs, Rhymefest wrote Jesus Walks. The industry is riddled with ghostwriters, and these are only the cases that we know about. But at the end of the day, does it really matter? Ultimately, rap is a business industry. If some improved writing can help boost record sales, then labels will do whatever they can to write up an NDA contract and hire ghostwriters for their artists. Whether you think ghostwriting is good or bad, it's up to your own feelings about it. In my opinion, if an artist never claims to be a top-tier lyricist and uses ghostwriters to make better music, I see no issue with it. However, if an artist such as Common, Mos Def, Eminem, Kendrick, or J. Cole use ghostwriters, it would hurt tremendously because when you listen to these artists, you expect authentic and personally crafted lyrics. What do you guys think about ghostwriters in hip-hop? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below, and until next time.
All I know is I wrote every single word of everything I ever murdered. Time to separate the sheep from goats.
I was always under the impression that every rapper wrote their rhymes, and when you heard about Kumo D battling Busy B, it was who's bringing the best rhymes to the table. Years later, fast forward, you hear Eazy-E saying Ice Cube writes the rhymes that I say. And I remember being a kid, like hearing the line, but it never really, I just didn't really care. You know what I'm saying? It didn't really affect the way I felt about Eazy-E or the way I felt about NWA.